For this here origami piece, you're going to need 2 pieces of paper, and we're going to make both of these squares. And then cut off the extra. And cut off the extra. What we're making here is a hanging decoration. I think it would look really cool if you poke a hole through it and then you can put a string, and then it can be an ornament, or it can be something that you could hang around your room. If you made a bunch of them, you could hang them on a string, kind of like a banner, but like a 3D banner. I think it would look really pretty. In fact, I might put some up in the background of my art room, or my office virtual art room. Okay, so we gotta color these, and I like to color these with different colors on each side, but colors that kind of go together. So I'm doing 2 different purples, red and blue, because red and blue make purple. But you can use whatever kind of colors you want. Oh, I broke it. That happens. Okay. And these are actually 2 different purples, but they look really similar. You can do these with construction paper or any kind of paper, really. I think it looks good every time. If you use construction paper, then you don't have to color it. Okay, so to start off, let's do one at a time. Oh, I didn't get this corner. There we go. Let's start with our diamond. So we're going to make an X through this. So fold the top corner down. You should already have one that's creased from whenever we were making it into a square. Open it up and fold it in the other. So now we have an X. So both of these creases should be valley creases where they are going down, not mountain creases where the point is at the top. So what we're going to do here is flip the whole thing over. So now that they're mountains, and we are going to make a plus crease. So folding the top down, matching up your corners. I'm struggling with matching up my corners today, but that happens. Just gotta do your best. Open it back up, rotate, and fold the top down. Okay, now when we open this up, our X creases should be mountains, and our plus crease should be valleys. So now what we're going to do is bring all of our corners together. Just kind of gather them up at the top middle. Now, with it all gathered at the top, we want to have 2 flappies on one side and 2 flappies on the other, and then we're going to lay it down and smush it. And you can really smush on these creases to make sure they are nice and firm. Now we are going to make it look kind of like a kite. So we're going to line this edge up with our middle fold or our middle crease. Do the same thing on this left side. Now flip it over. Put your hand underneath like a spatula. Flip it over like a pancake. And do the same thing on this back side. I think I can make this better. There we go. Yeah. Now we have a bunch of flappies here at the bottom. I'm going to take just the top one and I'm going to fold it up so that I see the other color. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the reverse side. Take this top flap, flip it up so I can see the other color. So now there should just be these two triangle pieces at the bottom. Now we're done with this step for now. We're going to do all of this same thing with our second paper. So I'm going to do all of those steps again. Okay, so we have to make an X with valley folds. So I'm going to fold this here, open it back up, and fold in the other direction. So when I open it up, all of these lines are creased in valley folds. So now we're going to take this whole thing and flip it over. So now they're mountains. We need to now make plus valley folds. So I'm going to bring the top half down to the bottom. Line up the corners as best you can. Open it up, rotate, bring the top down to the bottom. Okay, now when you open it up, our plus should be valley folds and our X should be mountain folds. So I'm going to bring all of these corners together. And once you have the corners all brought together, you should have two flappies on one side and two flappies on the other side. And if they're not wanting to do that, you can just make them go that way. So two flappies on one side, two flappies on the other. Now we're going to smush it down. And we're going to bring this edge to the middle. So I'm taking one flap and bringing that to the middle. Crease. Same on the left side. And then crease. Now we flip it over, do the same thing. Now we have a bunch of flaps at the bottom here. We're going to take just the top one and flip it up so we can see the other color. Flip the whole thing over, take the top flap, fold it up so you can see the other color. Now, this step to put them together is where we have a little bit of difficulty. So we don't want them to fit together like this. We're going to turn this one to its side. And I like to kind of like bend it a little bit in the other direction so it makes an X, real easy X. Do the same with this one. Just kind of reversing some of those creases so it makes an X. Now, do you see how I have a triangle right here and this little triangle right here, this blue one and then this pink one? I'm going to turn this so that my triangles are not on the same side. Now I'm going to try and get this point underneath this pocket. And if I'm not explaining this very well, you can look at the step-by-step instructions that you have in your Google Classroom folder. Okay, so I'm tucking this together, and you want all of the corners to be tucked underneath. And this one, see, it didn't get tucked under. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to curl it back. Maybe I'm going to pull these apart a little bit. Curl this back and make it tuck. Now I'm going to check, are all of my points tucked under somewhere? Yes, good. So that means I can finish pushing this together. And now it is a cool little decoration. Isn't that cool? I really like how these turn out. And I think I am going to string these together so that they make like a hanging decoration in my virtual classroom office. All right, have fun making your hanging decorations.